Hey, fifth grade band members. I'm going to take you through the pass-offs from exercise 65 through 98. We're going to be counting through them with the Eastman counting system, and we'll be singing through them using a fixed do system so that all the hand signs and the syllables you've learned to say will be the same for the notes always that you learn. All right, we're going to start at 65. Let's count through it. So one of the big issues with that piece is to make sure that you are playing it in the correct phrases, right? If you don't breathe at the right point and let 4 lead into beat 1, then it's not going to feel right. So I'm going to emphasize that a little bit more this time about where to breathe and how 4 leads into beat 1 each time. So it's not the bar line that creates the period to the sentence, okay? It's more like beat 4 is like, and then. Okay, so those are the musical sentences. Here we go. Let's count it one more time. 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, now another interesting thing about this is that for the beat 2 note in second full measure, it's low for the mallet percussion and for the woodwinds. For the brass, it goes up on that note, but for the other voices, it goes down. So I'm going to sing it in the woodwinds. 1, 2, 3. Do, mi, re, do, re, mi, so, mi, re, do, mi, so, la, so, fa, mi, re, so, do. And this time, the way that it goes for the brass, which is a little bit easier for me to sing. Do, mi, re, do, re, mi, so, mi, re, do, mi, so, la, so, fa, mi, fa, mi, re, so, do. All right. So let's go ahead and go over to exercise number 72. 72 is a pretty easy one, but it's one where you get to be creative. You get to pick which notes you're going to play in the third and fourth measure. So as long as you get the rhythm correct, you can pick any of the notes that you know how to play so far. All right, so I'm just going to count through the whole thing, and then I'll just sing the first 2 measures. So here's counting the whole thing. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3. Okay, and then here's singing it. So, mi, do, fa, re, ti. And then you figure out what to do for the rest of it. It's up to you. All right. So that's kind of an easier one. 65 is usually a bit of a challenge, but 72 gives you an opportunity to be creative, and it's a little bit easier. That's the way these go sometimes. You have a more challenging one followed by an easier one followed by a more challenging one. So we get to 84. And 84 has a lot of new concepts that are being evaluated. We've got dynamics and articulations, and we're in 3/4 with a new key signature that's going to make all of our A's be A flats. If you're a concert pitched instrument, flute, percussion, trombone, that equates to all B's being flat for our trumpets and clarinets, and all F's being regular F natural, not F sharp, for our alto saxophones. All right? So because of the key signature, that's the case for the entire piece. but we also have mezzo forte that we start off on, so medium loud. We've got a crescendo in measure 2, or forte with an accent on the first note in measure 3. Measure 4 and 5 both start with accented notes, diminuendo in measure 7, and in measure 8 we're down to a piano dynamic. So let's count through this piece. Here we go. 1, ready, go. 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now that's the other difficult thing about 3/4. We don't listen to as much 3/4 as maybe people used to. In our culture now we hear mostly 4/4 music. And so with 4/4 there's this balance. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That feels nice. But with 3/4 it constantly feels like it's rolling forward. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is the time signature of the dance, the waltz. And while the waltz used to be a really common dance among our society, perhaps it's not as common. If you go to homecoming when you're in high school, you're not going to see people dancing the waltz at homecoming. So we have to get the feel of that. All right. Now we're also going to introduce a new syllable with our singing. You've heard of T before. We sang it for the low note we learned in 33, but now since we're singing A flats, we're going to make that into a te, which is a little bit lower. Okay? So we're down to that note, te. 1, ready, sing. Te, re, fa, te, la, sol, fa. La, te, do, la, sol, fa. Fa, 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 te. All right, so that's that exercise number 84. Now we usually skip number 85 for our star chart. There's some interesting things to be done there, but just for the purposes of our pass-offs, we skip that one. So let's go ahead and flip over to exercise number 98. That's the next essential elements quiz I want to take a look at. And this one is once again in that 3/4. So we really are going to make sure that we get the feel of 3/4 by working on these two pass-offs. But we also have some new things to look at. We have now slurs. Okay, we have slurs where we're not going to tongue. So whenever you slur, you're going to tongue the first note but not tongue any other notes. So the first measure is tongue, slur, slur. Percussion you don't really slur on bells. There's not any different way to play. And trombones, there's a few different times you can actually slur. I'm only going to tell you about one for right now. Whenever you have two notes that are the same position, you can slur. I'll tell you about the other ones later. But most of the time, especially in this piece, whenever you have a slur on trombone, instead of doing do, 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 think more of an L sound. Lo, 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 and make it as smooth and connected as you can. All right? Everyone else just don't tongue. Do, right? All right, so we also have some roadmap things. We have DC, which stands for da capo, which means go back to the head or the top of the piece. And then al fine, which means once you've gone back to the head, then play until you get to the fine, which is the finish or the final measure. So we're going to play the whole thing through once, repeat back to the beginning, and play the first 4 measures again. Let's count and finger through this. And again, let's feel that 3/4 while we count and finger through it. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, te, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. And for the new note, which is the second note in the piece, that we learned back in exercise 92, the razor's edge, that E natural concert, F sharp for clarinets and trumpet, C sharp for alto saxophone, right? Instead of doing fa like we originally learned for the note on that, we're going to turn that thumbs down to a thumbs up, and we're going to call it fee. Okay, so this is going to start on this note. 1, ready, go. La, fi, re, mi, fi, re. Mi, fi, so, fi, mi, re, fi, la. La, fi, re, mi, fi, re. All right, so we'll do some instrument specific videos to help you guys with some other challenges, but hopefully this video and the video of 13 through 45 will be a big help with you guys understanding the rhythm and hearing the notes in your head before you try to play on your instrument all these passive exercises. I wish you the best of luck. Keep practicing, and see you later.